Okay, we're going to talk a little more about the 3/8 inch fiberglass electric fence rods. This is a little bit different model that I buy from Tractor Supply. You can see this one has the black plastic supports built on it. And these are a little more expensive. These are about $2 a piece rather than $1 a piece for the plain kind. I don't know if you can see this, but you can see there are little openings in there, and these caps are glued on. That makes it real easy to drill a hole through these things. Plus, these plastic supports are handy for hanging body grip traps off of, but I'm going to talk about using these as snare supports. So of course I've got my ring up here, and I'm real big on these little quick clips. These things are very handy and speed up things a lot. Now, my preferred support wire is a number 9 gauge annealed support wire. You can see what I've done is I've drilled 2 holes in this pole, and I've inserted a number 9 wire through it. It goes down the back, comes out the front. It's this 2 connection points that give you stability, where your wire is not going to simply spin around freely. Because if an animal were to hit it or hit your snare, you want the pole to give a little bit, but you don't want your support wire to spin around. And you can make this wire as long as you want, so you have plenty of room to get down to the depth of the height that you want. So to deploy a snare, this is kind of difficult to do with one hand, but I'll simply clip the snare on. Like that. You can see that's got my swivel. And on my snares, I like a plastic tubing whammy. Now, a lot of guys that live up north can't use these because they get stiff and brittle in the extreme cold, but that's not really a concern for me. So once I clip this on here, I simply insert my support wire into the whammy, like so. And you can see my snare is supported. All I have to do is adjust the length so that I get the loop size how I want it. And you can see that the support wire just fits right in the whammy. You adjust your loop, and then at this point I can bend this to any height, any shape, any depth that I want. That is about as fast and simple a system that I've found. So I literally, to set a beaver snare, can go out and drive that pole in the mud, clip a snare on it, and insert the support collar into the whammy and put it exactly where I want it. Half in and half out of the water, 2/3 in, 1/3 out, whatever I want. And when the beaver comes along and trips the snare, it'll pull right off the support wire like that. The snare will close. You can see it's closing around my wrist. And then at this point, the beaver is just swimming around in the water, and every time he pulls, he's not going to break that pole, but he's going to shove it deeper into the ground. Now there's a second way that you can use the plain pole as a support, and this is the one that I showed on another video about using the muskrat trap clips. Same exact pole. Now on this one, you'll see that I have one hole drilled right here. All I've done is I've inserted the wire. It comes down. I've wrapped it a couple of wraps around the pole, and then there's my support wire, which would hold the whammy just like I showed you. And it's this multiple wraps that hold this wire into place. So there are a number of ways that you can use that. I hope that's easily visible. But that is a 14 gauge wire. It's a little bit narrower gauge. Some people like 14 gauge, some people like 9 gauge. But the bottom line is these poles can be used in multiple ways. They can be used to support a coil spring or a long spring trap for muskrats. If you use the trap clips, they can be used as snare supports. And in another video, I'm going to show you how to use these as a body grip support to hang a body grip vertically.